crazy recently.
Dude.
Man, I'm so bummed I haven't played it yet because it sounds nuts.
It took like 2 minutes after we started playing before our jaws were just on the desk. Like, what the hell have they done? In a good way, I think.
I haven't gotten to play it yet. I was on the East Coast all last week when it came out, and kind of...
It's extreme.
Man, they know their game. They know what they're doing. Psyonix is... They just listen, I feel like, and so many times. So, just touching back on their last one, right, was Hoops. Which was cool, fun idea, changes the game because you're doing aerials and all this stuff.
Neo Tokyo, to be fair,
that would be another example of what I'm getting at is the essence of Rocket League that I think where people kind of like eventually step away from these new updates is that you can't change the core game, you can't change the maps specifically because that is part of the core game, is riding up walls and knowing where to be for aerials and stuff like that. Changing the ball physics, you can't do that. This game keeps all that intact, but just adds like a power-up ability, right?
You can teleport to where another player is. You can use a plunger to grab the ball. You can use a harpoon to bring yourself towards the ball. You can attach spikes to your car so you can stick to the ball. You can create a tornado effect that throws cars in your way, like off their path.
You can shoot another opponent.
Oh, right.
Which basically it's like cutting the brakes and throwing it into NOS. So you see these guys, it's like you shoot them and like they're spinning out of control. Oh. It's real fun, and I played that the most over the weekend. I could not stop playing that mode. It's really fun, and I think in a very good way it like preserves Rocket League. Like, because you start off the game, it's these modes or these abilities come in 10 seconds.
What the
just keep
hell was
watching you
that?
punch the ball into the goal.
That's the haymaker, and the spikes are like the ones you want to hold on to and wait for the moments.
So let me ask you this: if you don't use it, do you lose it?
Well, no, you don't lose it, but you lose the opportunity to get another ability.
Sure.
So certain ones you want to get rid of.
You can still hold on to it.
Oh, exactly. So the haymaker and the spikes, you want to hold on to that because that's your main offensive
you
push.
Can freeze it in the middle of the air as well.
Rallo in the Twitch chat is just asking if there's a power up to just puncture the ball and end the game. It's like what the Sandlot scene where he's like, idiot, now we can't play no more. Anyway.
It's a really fun game, and I think I'm super into it. And it, eventually, what I was going to say is, these things come in 10-second cooldown, so you're still playing Rocket League in moments, right? The game or a round or a goal will happen, it's Rocket League for 10 seconds, and every 10 seconds thereafter. Like, you're still using your skills for the game, and nothing's changed other than now you're learning and trying new things with like, all right, now I got to like use spikes in a manner where I'm going to aerial up and attach to it in midair and just like have hands on my car and just run this thing to the goal.
Just drive it up the wall and hold onto it and see if anyone can catch you. What you talk about in terms of that flow is like super apparent because like, for that moment where like no one's using a power up and you're going to score a goal and you're like, all right, easy, I got this. It's like everyone activates their powers at once, it seems like. And then suddenly the ball is pulled to the other end of the map, then it's frozen in midair, and then just like all those other powers come into play. It's super interesting. And I think, like a lot of people were worried that doing stuff like this would impact the core gameplay, but like you said, they've found a really good balance.
Yeah, I think so. And, those Rocket Lab maps where they changed the map and everything, I think, I'm sure there are people who get a kick out of that stuff. But as far as like general consensus, I feel like around the office and like
cool
even
at
on
first.
Yeah, it's cool at first. It's nice to try something different, but you just want to preserve that feeling we all had for like the first initial months of that game, where it was like, I just want to get good at this, and you're still, everyone's still striving to get better at that core game,
right?
So this is, I think this is actually like the perfect way to like let off some steam if you're having a bunch of
you just had a 6 save with your spikes.
I know.
Well, that's what Rocket League was always appealing because for as unpredictable as it could be, its mechanics were predictable, so you get really good and master this game, whereas this seems like it's doing the opposite. It's just throwing these wrenches into the cogs. And I'm wondering, it didn't initially sound appealing to me, but like watching gameplay, obviously it looks really fun, but I'm wondering if it's kind of the systems are still in place for it to be something you can master rather than have these cool power-ups actually just disrupting the entire formula.
I think it goes back and forth. I think because these power-ups happen randomly, that if you are skilled and you're learning, you're doing whatever you are, and you have mastered the spikes, someone can still pull you out of it, and that's both skill of that player, and it's also just luck, and it's just the luck of the situation of the game. So as long as you can embrace that and just be okay with letting someone just school you with one of these spikes or a haymaker, then you're having a good time. And again, I think it's like a nice balance with the actual game, because let's get real, like you do 2v2s online competitive, and you're gonna have 5 streaks of just losing. I don't know. I think it's a nice change up. Where it's like, all right, I just need to like rethink my life.
Yeah, it's an excellent option.
Yeah.
So another thing with the update is this. You said you're finding on Reddit this trading system, which is becoming almost like a seedy underbelly almost of the Rocket League community. Which, obviously, I'm not speaking ill of Rocket League, but you were saying you were looking through Reddit and kind of digging through like NeoGAF forums about how people are kind of selling these crazy crates for like $90 real world dollars now.
Oh, they're pushing keys, bro.
Yeah, it's keys, man. That's the
90 real world dollars translates into keys, right?
No.
Let me preface all this. So they've
understand.
introduced crates and keys. Crates are obtainable. I would say roughly around maybe a dozen matches or so. You can get a random crate drop. Different system compared to the items that are introduced into the game. That's completely separate. So you get a random crate drop. Great. What's inside it? About a dozen exclusive. There are 2 different types. You can get Champions 1 and Champion 2. Each has like a bunch of wide range of different rarity items, including like 2 import cars that are like unique, Dominus variants and stuff like that. All of it looks so good. It's all like really exclusive, cool items. However, in order to open that crate, you need to buy keys. And there is no other way you can get keys other than trading with other people, but you're more inclined to open these things up. At least 1 or 2, I don't know. Keys are about $1.50 each or 20 for 20. So you open it up and it's a random luck of the draw. Whatever is in that crate, you can potentially get. So I lucked out on my second one I opened. I opened 4, and I'm not going to open any more ever again. Who knows? But anyways, I opened one and I got that Takumi RXT rare model, and it's dope.
I saw that. You tweeted the other night,
God,
right?
This is it right
screamed,
here.
Dude, it's got like a clear hood. You can see the engine. Sounds awesome.
What? Oh man, that's
so. This is where I'm already getting like conflicted and frustrated, is because I really want this. However, there are things you can do in this game to avoid purchasing keys.
This is where it gets.
This is
sketchy.
where it's like, oh my god, what happened to Rocket League?
It's become like the auction house from Diablo 3.
First thing you can do if you don't like the system at all is you can turn it off entirely, so you cannot see it visually in the game, which is nice. So you don't see the buy keys option. We're talking about Halo earlier. Like, I don't want to see that.
It's not just shoved down your throat.
Right, which is great. 2, I can basically never open a crate, get 5 crates, either trade them into the game and get a random piece of loot back or item back that's of higher rarity. So that could be one of these new like animated skins that are really cool looking. Or here's the real kicker or I could hit the web and go to, of course, subreddit Rocket League Exchange, and already you see it, and it's just auctions. So people who have unlocked a crate and have gone like the Dominus GT, and it's a legit car. People want that a lot. He goes, I'll start. This one guy links to like an auction song in his description on Reddit, and he's like, I'll start the bid at 30 keys. And then you scroll down, 60, 90. Some guy is paying 90 keys, which is, give or take, $80. So that's the currency now.
Right.
Rocket League keys. And so you can do player-to-trader item trading. You can do keys, which is the currency. Or, it's like you see other people, or the other way you can do it is you see people go like, I have these rims, which is actually the one I was thinking of. He's like, I got these rims, and that's what he sold. Rims for $80. Or it could be, I'm looking for this. You see, like, want this, looking for this.
What was the base game? $15 or 20?
Oh.
20.
Yeah, sure.
Point being, you're paying like quadruple for rims than you paid for the actual game that they're set in.
Yeah.
That's nuts. There are people, there are enthusiasts that like Rocket League, including us, but I don't think I would do that. I definitely wouldn't buy rims for that. Although your car's pretty sick. I'll buy you lunch tomorrow for that car.
But I'm done.
So give it to me.
I felt that addiction. It was like, I got to open another one. I did. Shit item. Next
Traffic
one.
cone.
Yeah, practically. And the next one is the same. And I was like, I'm done. And so I turned it off. But pretty sure the point being is like maybe in a month or so, I could uncheck that option and see how many crates I have, which I could flip. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it reminds me of Overwatch, except Overwatch is like you see how much you're getting a pretty standard experience amount each match. Like obviously do better, you'll get a little more, but depending on what medals you get. But then you open the crates with the currency, whereas Rocket League sounds more like it's very, very rare to get a crate unless, like you said, you're kind of falling through the ranks on purpose to rise through them and get those streaks in the lower ranks, which Psionics said they're going to start banning people who are manipulating the system.
Right. That's the really weird thing is people intentionally quitting games in order to get, you said, in order to get that nerf, because I guess that's kind of I guess it's not confirmed, but it's a mechanic of that crate drop is how many wins you have in a row. So yeah, it's interesting, but I don't know. I'm still a huge fan of the game. I think it's a weird move, but I also think opting out of that is like no harm, no foul, right? Like the game is still fun. It's just cosmetics.
Yeah.
I'm still having a blast with it. I know you guys are too.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get in this afternoon. I still have not played it. But anyway, so yeah, that's Rumble mode in Rocket League's newest update, along with the trading system and whatnot, which is kind of becoming a little shady in a little areas. But anyway, let me know what the craziest thing you've done in Rocket League's new update in the comments below, because I have not seen half the stuff. I saw like spike saves and haymaker shots. But anyway.